Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. On the behalf of Multan Public School and College, I am Qari Muhammad Umar, Islamia teacher. Today we are going to start our new topic, Hazrat Umar Farooq Raziyallahu anhu, from the book of class 9th O levels. After the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the most famous rulers of Islam, whom the West feared most and who was the most popular among the Muslims, was Hazrat Umar Farooq Raziyallahu anhu. Hazrat Umar Farooq Raziyallahu anhu, son of Khattab, was born in Mecca. Among the Quraysh of Mecca, Hazrat Umar Farooq Raziyallahu anhu was very powerful person. In the 6 years of prophethood, the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam prayed to Allah to strengthen Islam by giving him Umar. And he is one of those 10 persons to whom the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave the tidings of paradise in their lifetime. Our next point is nominations of Khalifa. When Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq Raziyallahu anhu became ill in his last days, he was so worried that who should be the caliph after him. After careful thought, he chose to nominate Hazrat Umar Raziyallahu anhu. He put his proposal before the leading companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All companions had agreed, and Hazrat Umar Farooq Raziyallahu anhu became the second Khalifa of Islam after the death of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq Raziyallahu anhu, in accordance with his will. All the eminent companions of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam pledged allegiance to him, and he adopted the title of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Hazrat Farooq Raziyallahu anhu was the first person to take the terms of Amir al-Mu'mineen, and before him Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq Raziyallahu anhu adopted the title of Khalifatul Rasul, and Hazrat Umar Farooq Raziyallahu anhu adopted the title of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Our second point is battles fought during the caliphate of Hazrat Umar Farooq Raziyallahu anhu. First of all, war with Persia, Battle of Qadisiyah. Hazrat Umar Farooq Raziyallahu anhu sustained the glory of Islam and fought against those powers which were not only hostile to the Islam but also against Islamic policies also. Persia. There were several causes that brought the Muslims into war with the Persians and ultimately led them to the conquest of Persia. The Persians provide dangers to the state, and the Muslims had to remain cautious. About their intentions. Battle of Qadisiyah was decisive one in the history of Islam, as it completely broke down the strength of Persia. Second war, Battle of Yarmouk. Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq Raziyallahu anhu was in his deathbed. The Muslims had defeated the Romans on the Syria frontier. During the Khilafat of Hazrat Umar Farooq Raziyallahu anhu, Hazrat Khalid bin Walid added Damascus, Jordan, and one other city. After the loss of these three important cities, the Roman Emperor sent a vast army against Muslims. The Battle of Yarmouk ended a great victory for the Muslims, and Byzantines lost Syria. Next war, Fall of Jerusalem. After the Battle of Yarmouk, the Muslims' army advanced and laid siege to Jerusalem. The siege dragged on, and the Byzantines offered very stiff resistance and agreed for treaty and handed over the keys of the city to Hazrat Umar Farooq Razillah Talanhu. Next point, conquest of Egypt. After the fall of Jerusalem, Hazrat Amr bin al-As Razillah Talanhu entered Egypt and laid siege to Fustat. After the decisive war, Muslims became the master of Egypt. Next point, martyrdom. In Zilhaj 23 AH, when Hazrat Umar Farooq Razillah Talanhu was leading the morning prayers, Feroz Abu Lolo, slave of Mughira bin Shaba, attacked on him. Hazrat Umar Farooq Razillah Talanhu asked his son Abdullah to seek permissions of Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa Razillah Talanha for being buried by the side of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. This permission was granted. 3 days later, he succumbed to his wounds and met to his lot and was buried by the side of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Next point, main achievements. First of all, Majlis Shura. Hazrat Umar Farooq Razillah Talanhu established Majlis Shura consisting prominent companions of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam from both Muhajirs and Ansars. And Hazrat Umar Farooq Razillah Talanhu consulted his body on all matters. Next point, new laws and rules. Hazrat Umar Farooq Razillah Talanhu made new laws, rules and regulations in accordance with the Quran and Sunnah. And next point, criteria of appointments of governors. Hazrat Umar Farooq Razillah Talanhu laid down difficult criteria for the selections of the candidates of the post of governors. When someone asked him that what his criteria for selecting a governor's were, he replied, I want a man who, when he is among men, should look like a chief, although he is not a chief. And when he is a chief, he should look as if he is one of them. Our next point, division of provinces. The state was divided into provinces, and each province was placed under an efficient governor called Wali or Amir. The Wali was not only the rulers of the province, but also the military and religious head also. The provinces were further divided into districts and placed under Amir. Our next point, rights and duties of the governors and officers. Hazrat Umar Farooq Razillah Talanhu was always careful when he selected the governors and general person, Amir. He always appointed eligible person for that post. Every appointment was made in writing. On the appointments, every officer was given an instrument of instructions in which his power and duties were specified. At the time of his appointment, every officer was required every officer was required to make the following promises. First of all, he would not wear fine clothes, he would not ride on the Turkish horse, he would not keep a security guard on his door, and he would not use fine floor, and he would always keep his door open for the public and the needy. And one thing is necessary, that at the time of appointment, a list of his belongings was written and it was checked when that person retired. If the stuff seemed extra than the written list, they were interrogated about it and it was submitted to the Baitul Mal. Our next point is complaint departments. A special office was established for the investigations of the complaints that reached to the Caliph every now and then against the governors and officers of the state. And at the time of the Hajj, all the governors were presented in Mecca, and a public announcement was made that if anybody had a complaint about the governors, he must come forward. And if any governor was found guilty, Hazrat Umar Farooq Radhiyallahu anhu publicly dismissed him. Next point, appointment of Qazi. Hazrat Umar Farooq Radhiyallahu anhu entrusted the Qazi with judicial functions. They ensured that the judiciary was just and impartial. The Qazi was completely independent from the provisional governor, and he is free from his work. And also, the Qazi was chosen for their integrity and learning in Islamic law. Wealthy men and men of high social respect were appointed as Qazi with high salaries, so that they might not have the temptations to take bribes or be influenced by the social positions of anybody. The Qazi were not allowed to engage in trade. Judges were appointed in a sufficient number. Next point, police department and jail. It was Hazrat Umar Farooq Radhiyallahu anhu who established the police department for law and orders. Before that, people took care themselves, the cities and the towns. He appointed the guards whose duty was to patrolling and go around the city at night. There were no jail system before, and Hazrat Umar Farooq Radhiyallahu anhu established jails in different cities for the first time. And first of all, he purchased the house of Safwan bin Umayyah. He also purchased the house of Safwan bin Umayyah and changed that house into jail. Our next point is education. He developed the educations very well. He always appointed those persons as officers who were also scholars. Therefore, all the governors and officers were also responsible to give knowledge for the Quran and Sunnah to the peoples. He declared Arabic language and Arabic literatures as compulsory subject. He made arrangements for the education of children and elders in the Masjid Nabawi. And he was the first person who fixed salaries to the teachers, qaris, imam, and the scholars. Our next point, Revenue Department. Before Hazrat Umar Farooq Radhiyallahu anhu, the victorious areas were given to the conqueror as a reward. But Hazrat Umar Farooq Radhiyallahu anhu declares the conquered area as official property. Therefore, for the first time, land of Iraq was measured and rates of taxes and revenue applied in terms of different productive land. For the developments of cultivation, he founded a law that one who irrigated a barren land, the land would be his property. In this way, many infertile lands were abhorred. Our next point, introduce the Muslims era of Hijrah. Hazrat Umar Farooq Radhiyallahu Ta'ala anhu is the first person who made the Islamic calendar, and he also introduced the Muslims era of Hijrah. According to the Majlis Shura, the general opinion was that Muslims should have their own calendar. The point next considered was from when should such an era begin. Hazrat Ali suggested that it should begin from the date of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam migrated from Mecca to Medina, to which everyone agreed. And our next point, army or military department. Hazrat Umar Farooq Radhiyallahu Ta'ala anhu established military department also. In the early days of Islam, there was no standing army. On that occasions of any battle, troops were raised from the various tribes, and these were disbanded when the battle was over. No regular salaries were paid. Those who fought were compensated by distributing the spoils of war among them. Hence, Hazrat Umar Farooq Radhiyallahu anhu became the first Muslim rulers who organized the army as a state department. And next point, religious freedom of Zimmis. In the conquest of non-Muslim countries by the Muslims, the populations which did not embrace Islam were called Zimmis. In the treaties with the non-Muslims executed during the Caliphate, it was provided that life, liberty, and property of the non-Muslims who accepted to pay jizya were granted, and the Muslims were forbidden to interfere with the religious freedom of the Zimmis. Our next point, building the new cities. To improve the living conditions of the peoples, Hazrat Umar Farooq Radhiyallahu anhu built new cities to reduce the pressures of growing populations. Basra, Kufa, Fustat, and Mosul were famous among them. Our next point is about the character of Hazrat Umar Farooq Radhiyallahu anhu. greatest man of all times. Hazrat Umar Farooq Razillah Talanhu was caliph for 10.5 years. This period stands out a golden age of Islam, and he is one of the greatest men of all the times. He had made Islam strong and great. Fear of Allah and love of his Prophet. His amazing success was due to two things. First of all, his fear of Allah, and second, his love of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Extremely simple and hard work. His armies overthrew two mighty powers of the time, mighty states, governments of the time, but he himself led an extremely simple and hard life. Not spend a penny from public funds on his own life. Besides the small monthly allowance that he was allowed, he would not spend a penny from the public funds on himself or his family. Use of oil or Baitul Mal only for official use. At night, he would burn oil from the Baitul Mal public treasury only as long he went through official papers. After that, he put out the lamp even though there was no other light in his home. The next point, looked into smallest affairs of the people. And Hazrat Umar Farooq Razillah Talanhu personally looked into smallest affairs of the people, and he worked like a laborer all the day. And next point, at night rounded the city. At night he went round the city to find out for himself how people lived and felt, and he was ever ready to help those who needed his help. Carried supplies on his shoulder. He would carry supplies on his shoulders and deliver them on the homes of the poor and the needy. And last point, equal before the law. All the citizens, including the caliph himself, were equal before the law. He himself could be approached by anybody, and he was always ready to see his mistakes. With his all powers and piety, he never considered himself above mistake, and he never considered himself above any law. And our Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says about Hazrat Umar Farooq Razillah Talanhu, the Holy Prophet said about him, were a prophet to come after me, he would have been Umar Farooq. Thanks.